So you know it's a bad day when I've got a cap on and a rain top on and some rainy arms. I can try and do some 400 stuff and yeah, see if I can get around this without pulling a muscle. But all in the course of the 800 in a few weeks' time. One thing I found with this 800 metre training, at my age now, 57, can't keep burning out 3 sessions a week for an 800 metre race and not even doing much mileage. So my strength is from my mileage these days. And see if I can keep the pace going, but then you've got to build up the lactate tolerance to do that, which is the tricky bit, especially as I haven't really done this properly for the best part of 20 years now. Well, I've had the odd race, but it's like the one-off, like I've done 1 or 2 races a year, if that, for sort of the last 10 years, so it's a bit different to doing a full season like I used to do. Hello everybody, hope you're doing okay. Welcome to our hotel room in the Peat Spade near Stockbridge in Hampshire. I've come away because it's my 57th birthday. That seems really, really old. Anyway, so to celebrate the fact getting older, I'm not going to be doing 57k. I'm going to be doing some more training for my series of running an 800 metres as an M55, or a 57-year-old more precisely. So I thought in this one I would share some sort of details of the training I've been doing. So if we look first of all at my Power of 10 profile, for those of you not aware, I'm actually the person that is in charge of running that one, so I should hopefully get the right stats here. So what I've done is I've sorted my races in recent years by date order, the most recent first. So I kind of had this idea when I did the Vitality Mile 5:37 in 23rd of September, so not long ago, but I kind of felt like I did all right there, but didn't really feel like I was doing as well as I could. So I thought, what happens if I actually train for it and see how much better I could get? You can see like I'm a bit sort of something and nothing with my running at the moment. I'd run a good, well, for me, a good sub-3 marathon in Seville in February, 2:59.52 by the skin of my teeth. But I felt like I pulled out all the stops for that. And you can see here that, you know, in Farnborough half marathon before it was only an 88.21, so not very good. Had a good 5k there at 18:33. And as I went through the summer, it kind of got worse. Had an 18:45, didn't even break 90 minutes in the track one there. Then did an 18:59 and then finished off with a 19:21. My last 2 park runs, admittedly not on very fast courses, only just about managed to break 20 minutes there and was 20 minutes exactly on the old railway and at Keswick. So yeah, the track ones as well, you can see here 11:22.1. I actually got slightly better late season, 11:16. That was marginally better than I did the year before, 11:21. But for somebody whose PBs are long and distance in the past, here's my PBs there. 800 metres 155.8, 1500 355.5, and the marathon there 2:33.53, half marathon 72:30. Somewhat annoying park run PB of 17 minutes dead. I wish that was a 16:59, but maybe my time's gone for that now. So yeah, you can kind of see that I'm a bit of a jack of all trades in terms of my running in recent years. So I thought, well, as I sort of done that sub-3 marathon, and I decided that although I did have a good for age place for London, that I wouldn't actually take it up. The mistake I've made in recent years of just trying to race everything from literally a 400 metre race there. I did one there, 67.8, all the way to the marathon. Seems a bit unsustainable. So maybe if once I have a bit of focus in my running in recent times and see what I can do. So if we have a look at my Strava training log here, just scrolling back through the weeks, the general approach is basically to keep training like for long distance and with a slight more emphasis on doing 2 sessions a week. So generally in the week I'll do a midweek session which tends to be longer intervals, and then towards the weekend or a Friday I'll do shorter intervals, but also have some sort of reasonably long run in there, at least 10 miles and a very good baseline of mileage. So today is the 21st, just did 7 miles easy, which is pretty standard, 7 miles easy or about 1 hour, sort of like that, and also 300 few strides towards the end. Had my first day off for some time, but you can see here that 58 miles. The session here was 5 by 5 minutes. The session I did on the weekend was more of a track-based session. 3 sets of a 600 with 1 minute rest, then a 200, then 5 minutes between the sets, and then finishing off with 4 by 200. So very much a classic sort of track-based session, but I decided to do that on the road. That's been kind of the theme of late, is to sort of not really be absolutely all out with the pace work, because as I'm obviously getting older, 57 as you know will actually watch this, then I have to be sort of mindful. I can't sort of act like I was when I was back in my 20s, even 30s, and just like bang out 2 or 3 track sessions a week and very little mileage. I have to sort of play to my strengths now, which is obviously a lot more endurance based. But having said that, when I've always looked at the sort of the age graded tables and stuff like that, I always found that I was actually better at the shorter distances, even though when I was training for them.
So you see here 58 miles, 54 miles. So I've been doing around about 55 miles now for the last couple of months, 40 miles there and a slight down week with a couple of rest days, but 62 there, and just scrolling back, 52. So let's have a quick peek at some of the sessions I've done. There's the long intervals one, 5 by 5 minutes with 2 minutes rest at 10k effort. I always think my 10k effort should be about 6-minute pace, but I think that's probably optimistic at the moment. And then let's look at the one before. They're all variations on the theme really. 3 by 8 minutes, it's sort of a 10k to 10 mile effort. So quite a long rep. It's quite a sort of hard, mentally hard, those sort of ones with 2-minute rest. So you are basically running hard for a long time and very little rest. And if we scroll back to the week before, again, another variation of the theme, 6 by 6 minutes this time with 90 seconds, half marathon effort. So I think that was, Matt said to take that one a bit easier. But again, you know, you're running for a lot of time and not running for very little time, so quite obviously mentally tough. That's the session I did on the 4th of November, the very first session I documented in the first part of the series. So I've been doing these sort of shorter ones. I actually did a track session. It was a bit wet and miserable, so there was a 4x400 with 60 seconds rest at one pace, then got a bit faster, 2x400s, and then into 1x400 faster still. So I was doing sort of averaging about 85s, then went on to about 80s, then 76 the last one. So that was quite good. I mean, if I can double up 76 indoors, I won't be far off where I was in the summer, which was 228. I think one thing I have to sort of realise these days is that as I'm a lot older, the paces that I'm doing seem quite slow. So I think more or less my 800 metre speed now is about my 5k PB speed, and my mile 1500 PB pace is around about my 10k speed. But it's all sort of almost like training that you could actually go either way. I mean, if the 800s don't work out, and I think it's quite important to stress with these 800s that it's not just a one-off thing. I think often you train for a marathon and the race sort of goes as it is and you don't really get another chance to race another one for a while. With an 800, obviously, it's only 2 minutes and a bit and you can have another go another time. And I'll hopefully sort of throw in a few 1500s as well during the indoor season. I haven't actually entered any more than the one so far, but I want to sort of just get this one out of the way and then see what's happening in the new year, see how that one goes, and I can sort of adjust my training accordingly. So the overriding sort of takeaway here is that I'm not really sort of going mentally out and just running flat out sessions all the time. I'm still having a big masses of mileage. I'm doing my city strides runs in the week to keep my interest up, working on sort of the Woking area at the moment. So I found those quite helpful because I can do an hour of running, just sort of like counting away streets, and it helps to pass the time because otherwise I find like an hour of easy run, danger is that you end up doing the same old circuit, perhaps running a bit too hard, and you come away sort of thinking, oh, that was meant to be an easy run, but it was more like a tempo run. So yeah, there's a lot of element of trying to sort of slow myself down really and just have something to concentrate on those slower days. So I'll finish off with a bit of ad hoc footage of the last two sessions just to give you an idea of some of the things I've been doing. So I hope you found this interesting. Like and subscribe on that, and see you next one then. Bye.
Hello everybody, hope you did okay. Welcome to a place called Kingsley, near an old railway, would you believe? So I've gone out to do my 800 metre session. I've got the pink singlet on, same one as 28 years ago. Well, the same colour, wasn't not exactly the same top. So I've got 3 sets of a 600, then a 200, and then 4x200 at the end. So I decided not to do it on a track because it's really miserable day to day, and I thought it would be rather wet. So I thought I'd take the pressure off and do it on a country lane. I think I found a fairly flat one. I used this one before, so I can do a few strides, then get into it. I've already done a 3-mile warm-up. Feeling a bit tired actually, Saturday afternoon. Not my best of times to do a session, but we'll see how we go. Sometimes I warm into these sessions after a few reps, so let's just hope that's the case today. Okay, 2 strides done. I think I might have the wind behind for the first one, and downhill, so it always helps, doesn't it? I'm feeling that this first one needs to be about 1500 metre effort, so notionally for 600 it's about a 2-minute effort for me, so I think I'll do it on time maybe than actual distance. Maybe a 2-minute effort and then something like a 40-second effort. So this is the route I'm going to take, Sickles Lane, heading down toward Binstead. I think I actually did that as a warm down before. It seemed to go on forever when you're tired, but so I'm not going to go that far today, just keep it a lot of local, just popped up the road. 2-minute effort, and then see how close we can get to about 5:30 pace, something like that. And then I got 200 metres afterwards. Okay, the first set done of a 600, then a 200. Felt a bit of shock there, 600 metres, so maybe I need to do more strides but I can get you into it. But 2 minutes seems an awful long way when you're going for that hard. It wasn't that fast, but kind of it's all good training, isn't it? Maybe on a track you get so much more feedback, but I just wanted to sort of keep the pressure off a bit today. And I'm on the endorphin elites again. I do find, as I said on the last one, that they kind of take the pressure off the side of the ankles and the Achilles area, Not sure that they're really as fast as the Vaporflies. They feel a bit sort of slightly less bouncy off the road, but not bad. I can't really complain, to be honest. I think it's more me than anything. Anyway, right, so we'll crack on. What have we got? We've had 2 minutes, so I've got another 3 minutes yet. One thing about these intervals, at least you get a nice long rest. That's one good thing about them, isn't it? Okay, set 2 done. That had a little ramp up at the end. Anyway, all good training. Sometimes you think that the lactate going uphill is actually worse than on the flat or downhill. So I get to the end of this road and then I turn back and also get a nice little fly down the hill for a bit of extra leg speed on the first 2 minute one. Just enough daylight to get this done. And I'll do the 200s on the road, a bit nearer apart the car. Yeah, going okay. Okay, the main set done. We're at a place called Straits Farm. Off a lane called Straits Lane, I think it's called. It's not that straight. It's straight for a while, then it sort of curves upwards. But anyway, so we now got the 4.2s. Just want to run these back to where the car, I think, is. I think there's a nice little wind behind, slightly downhill. So we'll take advantage of that because we've been ploughing up the uphill. So yeah, perhaps this example of a session that's not exactly the most ideal of conditions, but it kind of brings it open it to how hard these 800 metre sessions are, because 2 minutes sort of like 500 metre speed in the winter on a lane just feels like, is that a flat out effort? It feels like it a bit, and then if the road sort of curves up a bit, then really hard to gauge. But anyway, I feel like I'm trying my best here. So yeah, 4 of these 200s and then that's it then.